Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our group, which is from group 2, consists of Hafizul Khairan bin Ismail, which is me, Burhanuddin bin Muhammad Zahri, and Luqman bin Yatim. We present about the pitting corrosion. Okay, let's start about the background of the study, which is about our pitting corrosion. The condition of pipeline is important in many processing sectors, especially in oil and gas, where long pipes are required to transport fluid and gases. Because some sectors, such as petroleum, are located near to seashores, pipelines are subjected to strong corrosive environment, such as high chloride concentration. Due to the presence of water, air, and minerals, as well as additional local contrast stresses, the crevice region of pipe at support location is more prone to corrosion. So we know that corrosion is one of the primary reasons of pipeline failure in oil and gas sector. It is destructive attack of a substance caused by its reaction with the environment, and it is a natural potential danger linked with oil and gas production and transportation system. So to maintain the smooth and uninterrupted flow of oil and gas to end user, the workers like pipeline engineers or designer must be aware of this corrosion, as the line and their component fittings will experience material deterioration due to corrosion. So the last point is there are various forms of corrosion that have been identified, which is the most prevalent form are wide area corrosion, which cause walls such as wall thickness loss, and pitting corrosion, which cause tooth thickness pinhole damage. It's like a hole damage in the pipe. You can see it's not completely hollow, but you will see tooth inside the pipe. So the pinhole type pitting corrosion confined in nature is regarded to be the most important kind of corrosion in pipeline, owing to the difficulty of identification and the greater danger of the creating leaks. Next is the purpose of the study, which is the purpose of the study is to determine the reason why the appearance of pitting corrosion can occur in the oil and gas industry. The study will also analyze the type of shape when the pitting corrosion occur, what are the factors that cause the pitting corrosion, and what kind of treatment used to cure the appearance of the pitting corrosion. Next is objective of the study. The first objective is to determine the type of shape for every tooth pitting corrosion that exists. The second one is to analyze the outer and inner of the pipe that affect the pitting corrosion through the ultrasonic testing. And the last one is to analyze how long does the time taken is needed for the corrosion testing when it is running. The next one is the concept of the study. Based on the concept of the study, the qualitative research method is choose, which is it can help collect data using conventional method, usually like open-ended question. The responses collected are essentially non-numerical. This method chosen was qualitative. For qualitative is a case study, which is a research method that relies on a single case rather than a population or sample. When researchers focus on a single case, they can make detailed observation over a long period of time, even of a shorter period. Something that cannot be done with large sample without costing a lot of money. So the last one is the method of implementation, which is, as we can see here, there is a table of the recommended material that usually used in the oil and gas industry. This material is to prevent or make the corrosion time slower than usual. So as we can see here, the carbon steel for injection line and production test, it It is used usually in bulk fluids, wood pipeline, flow line, waters, and steam formulator like storage tank. And low and medium alloy steel, it usually used as a wellhead item, chokes, manifolds, and well component with sour and high temperature application. Straight Romanian steel, usually used for wellheads, downwards, rough, and casing pipes. For the chromium nickel steel, which is the percent as we can see here, usually used for rough trim, instrument, and material aspirator. And the nickel steel is usually used for rarely used in oil and gas sector. But if it is used, it will be used for the LNG storage tank, piping, and pumps. Next is the black stainless steel, which is for the component like piping, vessel, and tanks internals where are very high levels. And the last one is nickel chrome, which is nickel chromium, usually used for the wellhead, flow lines, manifold with high sour and temperature application. Okay, next for the continuation of the method implementation, the corrosion monitoring process is used to make sure the corrosion level is not really serious. So this technique is continually assessing the corrosivity of process steam condition using probes such as mechanical, electrical, and electrochemical sensors that are placed into the process stream and continuously exposed to the process steam condition. By using this process, it will measure the wall thickness at fixed and susceptible places on equipment, pipes, and pipelines on a regular basis to analyze material condition and corrosion rates. This inspection can be used by using non-destructive tests like ultrasonic. This process is monitored by inserting electric probes into pipelines and detecting changes in the electric resistance in the probe coil.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Baharudin bin Muhammad Zahari. I will continue for another presentation about the type of rusting in manufacturing industry. First, my group was choose about the PT corrosion, and what we know, PT corrosion is extremely localized corrosion because they lead to the creation of the small hole in the metal of the surface. Next, PT also is most dangerous type of corrosion because it is more difficult to detect, to design again, and predict. The peak of PT corrosion are commonly covered by corrosion product. And for the example, it can take numerous forms and is nearly always present in all types of the localized corrosion attacks. Furthermore, PT corrosion also more harmful than uniform corrosion because it is harder to detect, forecast, and design again. To hide the piece, corrosion products are routinely utilized, and a small or shallow dip can devastate an entire engineering system by causing the minimum overall or metal loss in the PT corrosion. For the example, PT corrosion count of the variety of the shape and size, and it is nearly always present any type of the corrosion. For the next presentation is about the factor rusting in the manufacturing industry. In this factor, I have 5 factor. Okay, first about the new condition and master. What we know, rain can wash away harmful air pollutant that have accumulated in exposed area, such as a marine environment, but it also concentrate in pieces and pocket in the atmosphere to rusting the metal. And for the second factor is about the temperature. Okay, for the temperature, corrosion activity double every 50 degree Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius increase in temperature. Therefore, metallic project equal temperature let as a result of the heat capacity behind the ambient temperature, fluctuation and rusting. For the third factor is about the relative humidity. Okay, for the relative humidity, it's like the amount of the water vapor in the atmosphere is relationship the amount of the saturation is given to the temperature to rusting the metal. And for the fourth factor for the rusting is about the aerosol particle dispersion. Also the factor of the rusting in manufacturing industry, because measures of the corrosion can be caused by the chemical or injection process in the environment. Okay, for the last factor is presence of the pollutant. Okay, what we know, the presence of the pollutant has an impact corrosion. As for the example, when the gasoline, diesel fuel, natural gas, and the sulfur are burned, sulfur dioxide is generated, and which is one the most harmful pollutant that can cause the metal corrosion. Okay, I will continue for the next presentation. It's about the method of non-destructive testing, NDT. My group was choose the ultrasonic testing. Okay, for the ultrasonic testing, UT, is a group of the non-destructive test too. The technique is use the ultrasonic wave to pass the substance and the object. Okay, for the method, ultrasonic inspection use a piezoelectric transducer to couple a fluid detector. And next, transducer also send out the force of energy, and the same or a second transducer listen for the reflector energy. Furthermore, after the reflector, the reflection occur due to the presence of the discontinuous and the surface of the test article. And after that, the amount of the reflector of the sound energy is displayed, which provide the inspector information about the size and the location of the features that reflect the sound.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Luqman bin Mat Yatim, and I will be continue this presentation, and I will be explain about salt spray testing. Salt spray testing method. And for the first, we must prepare the test solution into the test chamber. And second is prepare the type, quantity, shape, and size of the sample according to the requirement of the coating to be tested or the product standard. So after that, we must place the sample into the test chamber and test the condition of spray box, and the test cycle must be determined in compliance with the requirement of the testing coating or product standard. So next, we must cleaning of the sample after test. So we can use a blower to clean the sample, and the last one is the evaluation of test result. So that's for the method of salt spray testing.
Okay, for the next present is I would like to present about the how long the PT corrosion take to the test. Okay, this is some of the summaries of the PT corrosion take to the test. Okay, first, calcium nitrate added to the test. After the calcium nitrate added, the vessel were sealed for 90 minutes and the concentration of dissolved oxygen. After the vessel was sealed 90 minutes, the test situation was kept at the ambient temperature about the 21 Celsius for the first 12 days. After keep in the temperature first 12 days, the temperature was gradually raised over 2 week period before be keep at 30 Celsius for the remainder experiment. After the remainder experiment, the three recover were performed after 12 day, 180 day and 365 day of exposure. After the recovery, sodium bisulfite was added to the water to assume that the near deoxygenate test condition was maintained. Okay, for the next presentation is about the type of the PT corrosion. Okay, furthermore, PT corrosion can manifest itself in a variety of way. Okay, for the first type of the PT corrosion is the true PT corrosion. In the true PT corrosion, it has a asymmetrical cut shape or irregular shape through pit are common. Furthermore, the metal was attacked resulting in the information of thin and deep of the throw. Beside that, true PT corrosion also have their smooth surface. Review the method of the crystal structure, and this can quickly perforate a material thickness such as a root sheet, dust, and the or the gutter component. And for the type of the true PT corrosion is four type of true PT corrosion. First is about the true PT corrosion about the vertical grain attack, and second is about the true PT corrosion narrow deep, and for the third is the true PT corrosion elliptical, and for the fourth is the true PT corrosion shallow wide. Okay, for another type of PT corrosion is the sideway PT corrosion. Okay, for the sideway PT corrosion, sideway pit are caused by the horizontal grain attack, undercutting, and the subsurface formation. This thing happen because the then coverage of the semi-permeable corrosion product membrane. And furthermore, sideway PT corrosion also can sweep the other metal, and the metal surface will appear to the undamaged and corrosion free for the making detection difficult. And for the type of the sideway PT corrosion is divided by three. For the first is about the sideway PT corrosion horizontal grain attack, and for the second is about the sideway PT corrosion subsurface, and for the last is about the sideway PT corrosion for undercutting.
So the next about characteristic of pitting corrosion. So number one is PT corrosion is a cavity, hole or pit that form in a small area or point. So the second one is a small amount of corrosion product rest on the surface, And the third is when a catalytic reaction in a large area, that's an area of coating, sustain an anodic reaction in a small area that exposed to metal. So the next is a high electrode demand by the large cathode is put on the small anode. The result is an intense pitting corrosion, and the last one is a damage happened deep in the metal structure below. So we can see about the form of a pitting corrosion in the figure below. So next is about prevention of pitting corrosion. So there are 5 suggested steps that can be applied to prevent the form of a pitting corrosion. The number 1 is a take step to minimize the chloride concentration in the surface environment, and the second is control the temperature of the indoor environment, and then design anodic or cathodic system of corrosion prevention, and the next one is use a protective coating and metallic surface, and last one is polish the surface if they are accessible. So that's a method or procedure that can you use to prevent the pitting corrosion. So the last slide is about conclusion. So we can conclude about the case study. The ultrasonic method for thickness testing are generally not suitable for the detection and measurement of accelerated pitting and corrosion. The main element for reliable detection and measurement is the number 1 is have the same realistic expectation of the result. Number 2 is a preparation of the surface may be required, and the next is use a scope and a scan flare detector, and the next one is overlapping scan monitoring the baseline, and the last one is a detection and measurement may require different approach. So that's all for conclusion our case study, and that's all from us. Thank you for hearing our presentation.